Caitlyn Jenner is getting fried on the internet. You guessed it. It's because she said, "Congratulations, Mr. President. Thanks be to God." And people are saying, "Mr. President told us to call you Bruce, by the way." And what's interesting is Donald Trump actually did an interview saying, "I knew Caitlyn as Bruce. He was a very handsome man."
I knew Caitlyn as Bruce.
There it is.
I knew Bruce, and, Bruce was a great athlete and a very handsome person, very handsome guy. And all of a sudden, Bruce is Caitlyn. I said,
This was like
what's
2
this
years
all
ago.
about? This was a brand new subject.
So Donald Trump, that interview happened like 2 years ago or something. And this is how Donald Trump remembered Caitlyn Jenner as. Caitlyn Jenner did an interview before the election saying that if Donald Trump was not president, the world would go downhill. Here it is. Here it is.
If Trump does not get in, I think that's the end of the country. I think it's, I hope not. I hope America's better than that. But we need a strong leader. And right now, we do not have any leaders. We don't even have a country. I mean, can you imagine if the UK here?
So the internet at the moment has been trolling Caitlyn Jenner, but at least Caitlyn got what she wanted, which is Trump as president.
Trump has been very vocal on this, that no biological men in women's sports. It's exactly on what his campaign is doing. Kamala Harris is on the other side. She wants, the government to support transgender surgeries for people. And it's wrong. And so I've been on the Trump side all along, and I think he's doing the right thing.
Yeah,
he's doing the right thing. We have to stand up to this. The whole trans issue. I feel like a lot of these issues, the trans community is being sacrificed kind of out there. And it's a shame because I wish it wasn't this way. There's so few trans people in the world, and especially when it comes to sports. And I know it's wrong. I don't know if you know, I used to be involved in sports.
I've heard rumors to that effect.
It was a long time ago. That's all you'll see, black and white photos. But I know today that it's just not right that we have biological men. And so we just have to get it down to DNA. XX you're in, XY you're out. And then we don't have this argument.
Caitlyn Jenner, one of the great American athletes of all time.
Oh, you didn't have to bring that up, Trace.
And I'm not even talking about your golf swing. I'm just talking about you.
Okay, good.
Caitlyn, thank you.
Hello, Trump. Hey, it's Caitlyn. Caitlyn Jenner. Come on, you know me, Caitlyn Jenner. The artist formerly known as Bruce Jenner. Yes, the Olympic gold medalist who killed somebody with their car. Yes, that's me. Look, Mr. President, I got a mucho problem here. My passport came back renewed, and under gender, it says M. M like Madonna. Yeah, that's a problem. I need you to change it. What do you mean, caveat emptor, buyer beware? What? I don't think that applies in this situation. Yeah, no, I need you to change it to an F. F as in Freddy Krueger. What I look like without makeup on, am I right? Oh, sorry, that was my share coming out there. So can you fix it? It would be very important. I love you. Hello? 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 I think he hung up on me.
Tonight, a political firestorm is erupting and it's getting personal. Caitlyn Jenner, long-time supporter of Donald Trump, is facing intense backlash as Trump controversial passport policy sparked outrage across the country. But here where things take dramatic turn. Some white American, many of them accusing her of supporting policy that could directly impact people like her. Critics add she is being unfairly targeted. So what exactly is this policy? Why this is causing so much division, and how did this situation flip so quickly? Let's break it down. Before we continue, I want to give credit to all original creators of TikTok clips used in this video. All clips belong to their respective creator and are used here for commentary, news report, and education purpose only.
Hey, Caitlyn, you must be so excited. Now that Trump's president, one of the first executive orders he came out with was he said there was only going to be two sexes in the United States. Male and female. No other identifications. And it's interesting because you identify as transgender woman, female, right? Used to be Bruce, but, now you're Caitlyn, and you identify as transgender woman. And I'm not even sure if you've had the surgery. And yet you went to the inaugural ball. Wow. Whoa. So look at that. He does an executive order that totally attacks you. Nothing like what anyone is doing online. I mean, he went right for people just like you. I would think you were a role model, but, and then you go to the inaugural ball. Like, what, you have no issue? And how are you going to identify now, Caitlyn?
Well, well, well. Is it not the consequences of our actions, Caitlyn? And you feel unsafe because your passport doesn't reflect your gender? Oh man, if only there was something that you could have done in your position of power and the privilege that you have as one of the most visibly open trans women in the world. Oh well.
We have some news right now. Caitlyn Jenner, who voted for Donald Trump, who supported Donald Trump, is now asking Donald Trump for help. Because of Donald Trump's policies, she says she can't travel safely anymore because of Trump's anti-trans passport policies. And now she's asking the president for help. So the Trump administration over the past year restricted a passport's sex markers to just male or female, and specifically made that corresponding to an individual's sex at birth. Caitlyn Jenner has been publicly identifying as a woman for many years. And she went on Tommy Lauren's show recently and said, "What do I do? This is a safety factor. I can't travel internationally anymore. I can't use my passport." Because now, because of the man she voted for, the letter M appears on her passport, not the letter F. She called it a, quote, big problem. But she's not the only trans American who is facing issues. Thousands of other trans Americans are as well. The difference between them and her is that she voted for Trump and now has buyer's remorse, seemingly. Spread the word, follow for more.
Caitlyn Jenner still supporting Trump while she complains about him making her life more dangerous because her passport now says male is like you talk about Trump derangement syndrome. That is it right there. The cognitive dissonance between like, oh my God, my life as a super wealthy, famous trans woman has gotten more dangerous. And she can't even like extrapolate in her mind how that impacts not famous, not super wealthy trans people who are living ordinary lives without VIP protections wherever they go. She's like, I still love him. I still love what he's doing. But he's made my life more dangerous. Like the cognitive dissonance, that is Trump derangement syndrome, and it's crazy.
Face, meet your new best friend. This is old news by now. You guys know the drill. Caitlyn Jenner, who is an avid Trump fan, can't leave the country because Trump regime rules require her passport to list her birth gender. And if she tried to get back into the country with her passport saying she was a male, they might not let her back in. Karma. My question is, apart from her association with the Kardashians, why is Caitlyn Jenner famous to begin with? And the answer is this. Caitlyn Jenner used to be Bruce Jenner. Bruce Jenner was an athlete and won the Olympic gold medal in the decathlon in 1976, kicking off a long-standing love affair between America and Bruce Jenner. Okay, but wait a minute, you're saying. There were 13 other Americans who won the Olympic decathlon. Why did America develop a long-standing crush on Bruce Jenner? Well, here's your answer. To use the current vernacular, Bruce Jenner was a hottie. America didn't fall in love with Bruce Jenner because of his athletic prowess or his politics or anything like that. America fell in love with Bruce Jenner because he was good looking. And that says less about Jenner and more about a culture that elevates people who are famous or funny or good looking to a job that they're really not equipped to do, which is why we find ourselves in the current predicament with the Trump administration. So my suggestion to you would be, the next time you find yourself in a voting booth, that is, if you find yourself in a voting booth, think about the person for whom you're voting. Don't vote for the cutest one or the funniest one or the most famous one. Vote for the smartest one who will do the best job of leading the country. Maybe then we won't have the constant chaos, the constant crime, the constant criminality that we're seeing with the current regime. Don't vote for the guy whose picture is on a box of cereal.
Caitlyn Jenner is the perfect Republican woman because she advocates for policies that will hurt her and others in her community while being a complete hypocrite. Unreal, the floodgates are open for the abuse and misuse of this. No biological males should be taking the hard-earned and hard-fought, well-deserved places of women athletes. Caitlyn Jenner criticized for playing in women's golf league. See, the perfect Republican woman.
Well, if it isn't the consequences of your own actions. So Caitlyn Jenner here is upset because she went to go renew her passport, and now she is legally required to put the sex as male on it. I mean, you voted for this, right? Oh, and it gets even better. Caitlyn doesn't even blame Trump. She says, I love President Trump, and I think he signed this executive order. I don't know who underneath him was putting this thing together, that all federal documents, it has to be your biological sex at birth. The loyalty to this man is insane. Like, he obviously had a part in doing this. It wasn't just people below him and he signed off on it. And she's even leaving notes for Trump telling him how upset she is and hoping that he'll reverse this decision. Now, Caitlyn, newsflash, Trump does not care about you. He doesn't. And it's so weird how she's disappointed in Trump for this decision. Like, didn't you know this was coming? Like, Trump was not going to be all for transgender rights. Like, come on now. It's just another case when a person votes for someone and they don't really feel the impact of their vote until it personally affects them. I still remember when Caitlyn was trying to get other transgender people to support Trump, but this is what you got. Are you happy now?
We have some news right now. Caitlyn Jenner, who voted for Donald Trump, who supported Donald Trump, is now asking Donald Trump for help. Because of Donald Trump's policies, she says she can't travel safely anymore because of Trump's anti-trans passport policies. And now she's asking the president for help. So the Trump administration over the past year restricted a passport's sex markers to just male or female, and specifically made that corresponding to an individual's sex at birth. Caitlyn Jenner has been publicly identifying as a woman for many years. And she went on Tomi Lahren's show recently and said, what do I do? This is a safety factor. I can't travel internationally anymore. I can't use my passport. Because now, because of the man she voted for, the letter M appears on her passport, not the letter F. She called it a, quote, big problem. But she's not the only trans American who is facing issues. Thousands of other trans Americans are as well. But the difference between them and her is that she voted for Trump and now has buyer's remorse, seemingly. Spread the word, follow for more.
Cue the leopards ate my face. Caitlyn Jenner once again joins the ranks of leopards ate my face. Because she can no longer travel internationally because her passport and all of her IDs are messed up. Because of, remember, they made trans people put their sex assigned at birth on their passports now instead of their chosen one? Well, now Caitlyn Jenner cannot travel internationally. And she said, what do I do? This is a safety factor. I cannot travel internationally anymore. I can't use my passport. And then she continues. She describes having the sex marker M in her passport as a big problem, adding, I don't blame President Trump. I love him. Continues to say I love Trump over and over and over again. And it gets even better because apparently she wrote Trump a letter addressing this issue and Trump has not responded. But like she said, he's very busy, very busy. I mean, hello, wake up. It affects us all. Unless you're a tech bro oligarch, everything he does, there's going to be something that affects you. Anyway, this gave me a good laugh this morning because I love when those leopards are eating those faces. And follow for more and I'll talk to you in a little bit. Okay, I love you, bye.
This situation highlights just how complex and sometimes contradictory politics can be, especially when policy began to hit close to home. The backlash against Caitlyn Jenner showed that loyalty in politics doesn't always guarantee protection from the criticism, especially in a moment like this. Now I want to hear from you. Is this really instant karma, or is Jenner being unfairly singled out of much bigger political battle? Drop your thoughts in the comment below. Let's find the breakdown helpful. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more real controversial the story shaping our world. I will see you in the next one.